Hey there everyone, welcome to another Sunday morning with Grace Kids. In today's video, Ben and Jose are debating what they're going to be watching on TV during this new lockdown. In our Bible story, we'll find the disciples have got it wrong again as they try to keep a crowd of children away from Jesus. Can you believe it? And after last week's story that was all about hidden treasure, we're going to revisit a song that we sung together a couple of months ago that's all about finding that treasure for ourselves. So most of you are already going to know this one. It's called Ready, Set, Go. We're going to listen to that and sing along with that in just a moment or two. Now, there's no art gallery this week because we've not been doing this for a few weeks, but we do have brand new activity sheets for you to do today. In particular, a new memory verse and a new Bible story picture to colour in. Now, today's memory verse is a super helpful one. It's from 1 Peter 5, verse 7. Now, maybe you find yourself a little bit worried or unsettled this week with all of the changes that are happening with school and with lockdowns and things like that. Well, here in our memory verse today, Peter tells us that what we can do whenever we're feeling anxious or worried is cast our anxiety on God. We can tell him our worries and we can leave them in his hands. We can stop worrying because we've entrusted them all to God. But if that wasn't enough of an encouragement for us to give our worries over to God, Peter goes on to tell us exactly why we can do this. For he cares for you, says Peter. Just think about that for a moment. The God of all the universe, the one who controls the wind and the waves, the maker of the stars and the planets, he who holds the nations in his hands, cares specifically about you and me. He loves you and he cares for you. That's why you can cast all your anxiety on him, because he's God and because he cares for you immeasurably. So much, in fact, that he sent his own son, Jesus, to die for you. Well, please do send in a picture of your finished artwork to us once you've done it, and we'll make sure that it appears in our art gallery when we relaunch that next Sunday. Now, without further ado, here's that song about finding buried treasure.
There was treasure buried in a field, something more valuable than anything. Figure out a way to buy that land, so we could hold the treasure in our hand. If we heard about a special pearl, with more than any other in the world, we might sell all we had and buy a boat, so we could give that pearl a brand new home. For there's no treasure greater than to know our God and Savior. Ready, set, go, oh, oh. Seeking you is the adventure of a lifetime. You're better than gold, oh, oh, and any other treasure. You are worth it all, oh, oh. Even if we have to lose our lives to find you, you are the God we want to know. Ready, set, go. And if we look for you, we'll come to find that you were calling to us all the time. You sent your son so he could set us free, to love and follow you eternally. For there's no treasure greater than to know our God and Savior. Ready, set, go, oh, oh. Seeking you is the adventure of a lifetime. You're better than gold, oh, oh, and any other treasure. You set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go. Oh, 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 oh. Ready, set, go.
Alright, Ben. Lockdown 3 is upon us, which can only mean one thing.
Joe Wicks is back.
No.
Football every day of the week is back.
Nope.
We're back.
Yes, but not the answer I was looking for.
What were you looking for then, Jose?
It means we get to binge watch loads and loads of TV. Think of it. All day, sat in our PJs with a cup of tea and a chocolate hobnob, watching all our favourite TV shows and films, back to 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 back.
Okay, I think we get it. What do you reckon we should watch?
Well, I was thinking perhaps we could start with The Crown.
Ah, yes, and then we can move on to Peppa Pig.
Good joke, Ben.
Yeah, I was definitely joking.
Then, once we've done that, we could watch The Mandalorian.
Good idea. I reckon we should watch Bob the Builder.
You're on a roll today, Ben. That really did make me laugh. Finally, I think we should watch all the Lord of the Rings, followed by the Star Warses, followed by the Harry Potters, all the Indiana Jones, the Hunger Games, the Transformers, all the Marvel films, the Batmans, and finally Jurassic Park.
And then perhaps we could watch Minions or the Lego Movie after that.
Ben, all the TV shows and films you've named are for children. They're not cool. They're not even acted by real people.
I guess we can watch the films you said then, since we're both so cool and grown up.
Yeah, you guessed right.
The Jesus Storybook Bible, written by Sally Lloyd Jones and illustrated by Jago. The friend of little children. Jesus' friends were arguing. Who was the most important helper in God's kingdom? They wanted to know. I am, James said. No, you're not, said Peter. I am. Nonsense, Matthew said. I'm the cleverest. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yes, no, am too. This silliness went on and on like that for some time. You see, Jesus' friends had started thinking they had to do something to make themselves special to Jesus. That if they were the cleverest or the nicest or something, Jesus would like them best. But they had forgotten something. Something God had been teaching his people all through the years. That no matter how clever you are, or how good you are, or how rich you are, or how nice you are, or how important you are, none of it makes any difference. Because God's love is a gift. And as anyone will tell you, the whole thing about a gift is, it's free. All you have to do is reach out your hands and take it. So, while Jesus' friends were arguing, some people who knew all about getting gifts, in fact you might say they were experts at gifts, had come to see Jesus. Who were they? They were little children. Jesus' helpers tried to send them away. Jesus doesn't have time for you, they said. He's too tired. But they were wrong. Jesus always had time for children. Don't ever send them away, Jesus said. Bring the little ones to me. Now, if you had been there, what do you think? Would you have had to line up quietly to see Jesus? Do you think Jesus would have asked you how good you'd been before he'd give you a hug? Would you have had to be on your best behaviour and get dressed up and not speak until you're spoken to? Or would you have done just what these children did? Run straight up to Jesus and let him pick you up in his arms and swing you and kiss you and hug you and then sit you on his lap and listen to your stories and your chats. You see, children loved Jesus and they knew they didn't need to do anything special for Jesus to love them. All they needed to do was to run into his arms, and so that's just what they did. Well, after all the laughing and games, Jesus turned to his helpers and said, No matter how big you grow, never grow up so much that you lose your child's heart, full of trust in God. Be like these children. They are the most important in my kingdom.
You see, Jose, Jesus isn't worried about how big and strong and tough and cool and how grown up we are. In fact, Jesus wants us to come to him like a small needy child who know they are weak, who know they need help, and who want Jesus to care for them.
Wow, I never knew Jesus tells us to come to him and receive him like little children.
Jesus wants us to have faith in him like a small child has faith in their father. You don't always know why he's asking you to do something, but you know that he loves you, cares for you, and knows better than you. And so you trust him and run to him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now that I know that, we can watch the less grown-up films you want to watch if you like, Ben.
Sounds great. We can watch the ones you wanted to watch too, Jose. Besides, we're not leaving the house for 6 weeks.
Yeah. Goodbye, kids.
Goodbye.